Hi y'all, it's Tiffany the Outmatched Mama here. I am going through some of my CC Cycle 2 tutor lesson plans. This time we are on week 2. So for geography this week we're going over the European waters. So I have this really cool pointer that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, and the kids are going to come up and take turns pointing at all the places or tracing them with their finger. The app that I mentioned in the last video is really good for this if you don't know where they are, because it shows you on the map where they are, so you can go through it before class so you know exactly where to be telling your students to point. For science this week, we're going over the 3 types of consumers. So I drew another little picture. It's very stick in the sand. So here are our herbivores, our carnivores, and our omnivores, a couple things that involve both so that the kids can go through them and have kind of a little visual to go with it. And we're going to just chant these over and over since there's only 3 of them. And the hand motions I thought that we could do was pick a fruit like a banana, maybe for herbivore, peel the banana. For carnivore, we could probably like cut a steak or something, pretend like you're cutting a piece of meat or eating a big chicken leg. And then for omnivores, we're going to do both. So something like you're eating spaghetti, like you're twirling the spaghetti up with your fork, or you're biting into a big juicy hamburger that has lettuce and tomato and a bun that was made out of wheat and the hamburger on it. And so we're going to chant those over and over so the kids get a lot of repetition. For math this week, we're doing the 3s and 4s. So I'm going to bring my really cheap knockoff magniformers, and we're going to practice taking turns for the 3s using the triangle pieces and stacking them up each time we say 1, 3, 6, 9. And then for 4s, we're going to use the square pieces since those have 4 corners and triangles have 3. So we're going to take turns playing with those while we count them as a group. And then I've made these skip counting worksheets, which I will link to these on the blog below. I made these triangle worksheets for practicing writing out our 3s. And then I made another one with squares to practice writing out our 4s. And this is going to be a lot of math information, but also I found these really great skip counting mazes on a blog called Confessions of a Homeschooler. So I will link to that so that you can print these out. But there are these really great skip counting mazes that the kids can go through with like a do-a-dot marker and stamp the numbers for practice during the week. And then I also found these really great skip counting bookmarks from 3 dinosaurs. And you can print those out on cardstock and laminate them so that your kids always have the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, and all of them for every week, the skip counting numbers, so that you can keep them in your purse or something and like drill them as you go through them each week. So that's going to be really great to have too. And like I said, I'll link to that below. For English this week, I found that it went really great to the tune of This Old Man. So we're going to sing it as a class and go through it over and over, and maybe even erase a word out of the sentence each time we do it. So for English it goes, a pronoun replaces a noun in order to avoid repetition. So we're going to do that over and over and erase a word out of the sentence until we have it down. And then for Latin this week, we're going to get out our finger puppets, and we are going to sing the song off of the app so that we make sure our pronunciation of the Latin terms are correct. For the history sentence this week, it's tell me about William the Conqueror. And we're going to say it in funny motion and funny voices and use our hand motions again. We might use the song off the app. I haven't decided yet. But the hand motions we're going to use are after the church. We're going to make a church with our hands at this steeple. After the church, split, karate chop for split, into Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox. William the Conqueror, we're going to march in place. Defeated, we're going to swing our sword. King Harold of England, we're going to crown our heads like a king. In 1066, we're just going to make the numbers, and started feudalism. Just for the 3 spots in that, just something to do so that we can remember it. And then for our art this week, it's drawing mirror images. We've got a book called, I believe it's called Mirror Mirror, and it's really neat. It shows some mirror images, and it also shows how verses can change depending on which way you read them. So we are getting that from the library, and we're going to read it, and I'll link you that information beneath this on the blog. And then for our first activity, we're going to fold a sheet of paper in half and use scissors to cut kind of like snowflakes like you used to, and open them up to see what the mirror images of both halves looks like. And then we're going to take turns coming up to the whiteboard, and myself or a parent is going to draw something on one side and have the student try to copy it on the other side, you know, remembering our oils from last week for this. And then I've made a printable mirror image worksheet that we're going to use. So I'll link to this below as well. I drew half of a barn that I'm going to have the kids work on finishing, a ladybug, and a cat. As you can see, I'm not the best artist, but I hope they'll have a lot of fun trying to make the other half of the picture-ish. And then for our review game this week, we're also going to do Wiggle Worms. I'm hoping that the kids got a really good hang of it last week, and this week that it'll grow really smoothly, reviewing our material from this week and from the last week. So that is going to be our Classical Conversations Cycle 2 Week 2 lesson plans. Thanks.